I'm 21 years old and I make as much money as a doctor by selling the simplest product to old people. And the best part is I sell them by simply reading off of a script. But I don't see many people talk about this niche of sales, or if they do, they don't explain it properly. So that's what I'm gonna do today. And this exact niche of sales is what took me from being a burnt out sales rep that was chasing my next commission just to pay for rent, to being able to travel around the world, stay in some of the nicest places, all while still paying for my apartment and car. But the problem that I was facing is the same problem that most sales reps face, chasing their next commission or next sale to fund their lifestyle. And sometimes they make good money, 10,000, 15, sometimes even 20,000 a month, but they're not actually building anything long term. When they make their sale and get paid their commission, that's it. There's no residuals, no long-term business building opportunity. But with this opportunity that I found, it solves all of these problems. So in today's video, I'm gonna go over exactly how I got into this niche of sales where I sell old people, and exactly how you can get into it as well. And I'm gonna reveal all my systems and processes that actually allowed me to succeed with this niche of sales that took me months to figure out. So let's get right in. So I'm gonna break down to you guys exactly how I got to this point where I'm actually making $30,000 every month simply selling to old people. Throughout this process, I'm gonna tell you how to actually find the right company or agency to work through, because the vehicle is very important. We'll talk about that in a second. And the main differences between the different types of agencies and what most people don't tell you. Then we're gonna actually walk you through how to find people to buy the product that you're gonna be selling, also known as leads. So I'm gonna go through the different types of lead sources, my recommendations, so that you can actually scale with this opportunity properly. And then I'm gonna go over the best systems to actually outreach these leads effectively. Because a lot of people in this industry, since you're selling to old people, it's an industry that's been around for hundreds of years. There's a lot of outdated systems and processes and old information that people give you, and they tell you to even outreach these leads one by one manually, which just kills your efficiency. So I'm gonna give you guys the recommendation for how I'm actually able to outreach 3 times more efficiently and show you how you can do that also. And then after that, how to actually create a sales process or a script to sell these leads. And this is probably the most important part. I'm gonna give you guys my exact script and framework on how I sell these leads so that you can implement it into your business or into this. So this is gonna be a high level overview, and we'll go step by step. First, finding the right company or agency to work through. The reason that this is so important is because the vehicle matters so much. Let's say, for example, you take 2 drivers. Both of them are the exact same skill level, and you put them in different vehicles. One of them, you put in a Ferrari. The other one, you put in a Toyota. Which one do you think is gonna go further? Obviously, the one in the Ferrari is gonna go much further. And that's why vehicle is so important. Once you choose the right vehicle, then you can focus on the skill of becoming a better driver, or in this case, becoming better at sales. What most people don't tell you when getting into remote insurance sales is that there's 2 different types of insurance sales. First one's gonna be broker, second one's gonna be captive. Now, when you think of captive, you're thinking of like State Farm, the office job where you're clocking in, making $40,000, $50,000 a year. This basically means you're restricted to selling only one product, in this case insurance, meaning that 1, you can't actually provide your customer with this best product, and 2, most of the time these companies are providing you leads. So they're basically taking on all the upfront cost and marketing, and that comes out of your pocket. So not only are you not able to give your customer the best product, but also you make way less money. Captive is a trap that a lot of people fall into. And that's really the biggest cons with that. I would say the only pro is that it's guaranteed most of the time, guaranteed income, like you're working for State Farm, they're paying you hourly, and you're guaranteed leads. So this is for the type of person that just wants to work normal 9-to-5 job. You don't mind companies taking on all the risk, but also getting all the upside, and you just want like a more stable career. That's never been for me. That's how I got to the point where I'm making the money I'm making, because I got into the brokerage space. Now, what this means is that you don't work for one specific company. You're able to find your clients, these old people, the best possible product. So you're able to sell more of them because you have better options. And also you control your own leads. You basically run your own business, meaning you get to participate in all of the upside. And this is what people don't tell you when entering the space. So you need to make sure that you're entering that correctly, not only entering the brokerage space, but also entering the right agency or company to work for. Because even if you do become a broker and you get into the wrong agency, you could have bad support systems, you can have bad training, bad compensation, bad lead recommendation, bad systems, and that's going to cause you to fail in this business. So that's why finding the right company or agency to work through is so important. Now, once you're in the right vehicle, then it's about actually finding people to buy the product that you're selling. So now that you're in the sales position, now you need to control your pipeline and get leads to sell so that you can make money. So here's the different lead types. First one, gonna be buying leads from a website or lead provider. And this is the most standard way that people do it. Now there's different ways that these websites or lead providers get their leads. And there's also different intents of leads. But with this, you can control how many leads you're buying and you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can buy leads as needed. So if you need 100 leads that you wanna call that day, you can buy 100 from that website or lead provider. And this is great for starting out because like I said, you don't have to buy a ton of leads and it's typically lower cost. So that's the first way. Now, second way, once you're able to succeed with the cheaper leads and you want to start possibly scaling up from there, the next type of lead would be paying an agency or an individual to get leads for you. What does this exactly mean? Some people have more knowledge whenever it comes to marketing, running ads, getting fresh leads. That's the whole idea of paying an agency. If you don't know how to actually run ads or generate leads yourself, rather than paying on a website where they have a little bit more of an upcharge just because you're not actually running a campaign or working with an agency to place a higher volume of orders, with this, you actually get these a little bit more fresh, but they are typically a bit more expensive. So you can pay an agency or an individual to actually go out there and run Facebook ads or run different type of ads to bring leads into your pipeline. Now, the third way, and this is going to be the most scalable, save you the most money, is going to be actually learning how to generate leads yourself through ads. You know how to run Facebook ads or any other type of ads to generate leads. This is going to make you the most money because you don't need to pay any sort of middleman. You get your own leads straight to your pipeline. And this is going to be, again, the best way to actually scale up. These are going to be the different types of lead sources. Now, once you actually have the leads, how do you actually outreach these leads properly and efficiently? Because this is one thing that intrigued me about getting into life insurance. A lot of old people that are in this industry, and I saw them manually dialing from a spreadsheet one by one. And I see these guys making 15, 20,000 a month, the amount that high ticket closers considered good. I'm like, if these guys are dialing manually from a spreadsheet, if there's actually good systems, you could be way more efficient and sell to higher level with less effort. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I use. The first one is going to be a CRM. This is just where I organize my leads and put all my leads into. And there's different pipelines that you can have for different leads, as well as different categories. So once I close someone, I can move them from the initial call to the close category. If I set an appointment, I can move them to appointment set category. This helps me organize all of my leads without having to mark it out in a spreadsheet or remember people one by one. And this just helps me keep organized. Now, this next part here, this is the key because I don't see many people talk about this, but this is literally how you're gonna be 3 times more efficient when it comes to outreaching these people. This is by having a triple line dialer. This is what it looks like. Whenever you have leads uploaded in here, all you do is click this call button right here, and it's gonna pull up a dialer. You click a button and it dials 3 people at once. And this is what it looks like. If you have 91 leads, it's going to dial through all of these leads for you after you click one button. And as soon as someone picks up, all you need to do is go through your sales process that you built out, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, how to actually build out. And this is just going to allow you to have much more conversations and give you more opportunities to make more money. Now, once you have the best systems in place, then it's actually about creating a sales process or script to sell these leads. I'm going to show you guys the exact introduction I use for all of the leads that I call, and then give you a breakdown of my framework after that. And this is applicable for different industries, not just insurance. And you guys can take this and implement this into different industries, or take it for your insurance sales calls introduction. So this is it right here. Hey, name, I just had a quick second to get out to you. I'm not going to read all of this, but you guys can look at it, copy it if you want. Now, after I get them to go grab a piece of paper and write down my information, that already gets them more bought into the call. They do a favor for me. Now I get into the discovery, asking questions, financial, medical questions, and then building their why. And this is where you're going to build the value, how you're actually going to sell the client. Once you get their why, then you move into the pitch, you move into the numbers, and then you close them from there. Super straightforward sales process. I do call to close. This introduction is 80% of it. If you can master the introduction, you're going to have a way higher close rate. This is literally the introduction that I've came up with after over 100,000 dials. And this is the exact introduction that makes me over $30,000 every month. And that is the exact process I went through to get to where I'm at now, making over $30,000 a month selling to old people. Super simple, super straightforward. If you guys want me to go more in depth about a specific topic, just let me know.